The Victims Commissioner is a new role in Queensland, born out of the Women's Safety and Justice Task Force, which in 2022 delved into the experiences of women and girls across the criminal justice system. Many reported their dealings with police and the courts to be traumatising, confusing, disempowering and slow.
We want change. When do we want it? Now!
In 2023, amid growing community unrest over the government's handling of crime and a lack of support for victims,
at times we felt very let down by the system.
The then Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk announced a victims support package.
The government has listened.
Including an interim commissioner, decorated former police officer John Rouse.
We know that government needs to do more.
In June this year, domestic violence advocate Beck O'Connor was named as the permanent Victims Commissioner. She's been appointed for 5 years. Her job, to promote the rights of people who've suffered harm as a result of crime, to investigate complaints and provide advice to government about systemic changes. Beck O'Connor, thanks for joining me. What is your mission? What do you hope to achieve?
My mission is pretty simple. It's about promoting and protecting the rights of victims of crime and to ensure that they're going to get the right supports at the right time when they need them. I want them to feel not alone and unheard.
This is a new role in Queensland. Is there something specific that made you put your hand up for it?
I feel as though I've spent my entire working career to get to this point in preparation for this point, and I've been doing this work for around just over 20 years, where I've been leading frontline services, working with children, with families, and I think I also bring a very different perspective to the work as well, in the fact that I have my own lived experience. So I've led it, I've lived it, I've spent 20 years learning about it, and I think I'm really well prepared to do this work.
What are a victim's rights?
Victims have some very specific rights under a charter. They've been in place since about 2017. They're a right to be treated with respect, with dignity and with courtesy, to know what services are available and what supports are available should you be a victim of crime. There are specific obligations for different parts of the criminal justice process, so the process with police, in terms of understanding how your case or investigation is progressing. You have the right to know if an offender is sentenced.
The fact that you are here now, though, in this position, does that indicate that those things don't always happen?
Yeah, very much so, and that's a lot of the feedback that has been given and sought out to date. So it is really critical that, and is absolute top priority for me, is to improve that so that people do know that they do have rights.
You were appointed by government. Does that mean you're beholden to government, or are you independent?
So yes, my office is independent of government, and I'm there to ensure that governments get recommendations about how we can make improvements. I provide reports to government.
So will you call it how you see it? Will you give frank and fearless advice?
That's absolutely my intention, but to be evidence-based and to be informed by the people that this impacts the most. But my job is to hold these systems to account for change.
So what are some of the powers that your office has?
So as of this week, we've actually gone live with a complaints system. That means that I can hear directly from victims of crime. That means I can have the powers now to investigate and to try and resolve any issues that they may have had with any of the government agencies or non-government agencies that are funded specifically to support victims of crime.
So people like police?
Yes, police, it could be that their experience within courts, or it could be an organisation like Victims Assist Queensland. These agencies are now required to report transparently and publicly about the number of complaints that they might receive. So this is a real opportunity to have some accountability about how we are upholding the rights of victims of crime.
So in terms of your powers to make recommendations, is there something that you already have in mind where you can see a gap or where you think there needs to be improvement?
There's a number. We're already starting work on reviewing the Charter of Rights, needing to make sure that they're actually fit for purpose. Do they need to be expanded? What does that look like?
Do you think they do?
I think that they absolutely need to be reviewed in light of very complex systems and a more contemporary view of what crime and the types of crime that people are experiencing.
Beck O'Connor, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Jess.